People can hear me. Lieve mensen, we begin in 5 minutes. So just relax and have another drink.
Is it for yes? So, welcome everybody. Great you came. You didn't go to the beach. I'm happy that not everybody turned up. But great you're here. Welcome at the last venue, the last event of Queer Currents 2020. We had like until now 26 events the last 2 weeks. And let me explain you a little bit what Queer Currents is for next year. Queer Currents is an event we started 2 years ago, and last year we had the first edition. And the idea is 15 events, 15 days, 15 locations in Amsterdam about queerness, different subjects of queerness. And what we do is we invite sort of curators to come up with their own program. So that's also why we're here with Aynouk. Last year we did also one thing, design, queer design. And now we're here, so I think I give the floor to Aynouk. Thank you for coming, and follow us on www.queercurrents.com, because now it's for 2 weeks, but we're going to make a platform for the whole year. So we will host more queer events during the year. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Oh my God. Well, thank you for coming. I'm so happy because it's a really beautiful day and you're here, feeding your mind and your body with the sunshine that we're going to give you tonight. Can you just give me an applause, or you and yourself for being here? Just do. Thank you. An applause for yourself. My name is Aynouk. I organize this night because Gijs asked me, and I organize this with Sadiqa and Kahal and Badi, which you're going to hear tonight, or this coming hour and a half, I think. And I just wanted to name 3 reasons why we did this event, why we organized it, and why this is important. I made a little PowerPoint, because otherwise I forget my mind. First of all, it's very important. The night is, of course, called Decolonizing Queer, a Moroccan and sex workers' perspective. And I think it's very important to note that queer is not a Western concept. Of course, we do this as well a little bit with yoga, right? And mindfulness. We say, oh my God, we invented this whole yoga thing, but it already existed. These narratives already existed before colonization, before Western imperialism. For instance, the Yoruba society in West Africa, they didn't have gender as a categorizing principle before the colonizers came. The Native Americans have 5 genders, amongst which is 2 spirits, for instance. So it's very important to be aware of where the notion of queer comes from, and that we also need to tell these stories from non-Western perspectives. Second of all, look, I queered my PowerPoint. Did you see the thingy? Yes, queer inherently entails a multitude of meanings. Queer is such a great word because it defies inherently a definition or a categorization. It is basically the space within the words. I don't define myself as male or female or straight or gay. There are pluriform and diverse ways of identifying, and that is basically what queer is. So I think it's also important that we let a lot of people put their own meaning on what queer is. And tonight, or this afternoon, we're going to get queer into a Moroccan and sex workers context. Because a lot of Moroccan people, I don't know, there's a lot of Islamophobia going on, of course, but I also think it's important to approach the notion of queer from a Moroccan perspective. Approach the notion of queer from a sex worker's perspective. Because otherwise, queer is being recolonized again and saying, oh, this is queer to me, according to a lot of white people, let's say. So in that sense, I think queer needs to have diverse meanings, and definitely from non-Western people. Then the third point is that queer is also context, and which I mean with that, I'm involved in a project in a Nelson Mandela sculpture in the Bijlmer actually here, and on that sculpture it says, we become human through the humanity of others, which means that identity is a relational concept. So how I behave towards you, I become. If I say miss or if I say mister to somebody, that means that they become the Mrs. or Mister. And that's why this space tonight is a very important space, meaning that racism, ageism, ableism is not being tolerated. How we talk to the other is also what the other becomes. To name an example, when I walk the street, people ask me, why do you wear that? And I get that question, but at the same time, I'm being asked to legitimize myself. And I hope this is a space tonight where we can go beyond the patriarchal, beyond the heteronormative, beyond the heteronormative, I called it already, heterosexual, patriarchal society in which we are raised in which we are educated in. So I hope we can redefine what queer means, and we can find different ways of becoming, basically. We will do that with Badi and God, I forgot the name. Sadiqa El Kahal, with 2 performances. After, we're going to have a panel discussion. And yeah, I wish you a very, very healthy and inspiring evening. And I wish you a lot of joy and happiness, because it's political. This night is political. I think queer is inherently political, to defy society's norms and values, but it's also fun. It's also fun to discover a part of yourself that's not being encouraged in daily life. So thank you again for being here, and I wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.
مولاتي يا فاطمة تبخليني حتى بالكلام، ما جا رسول ما قلتي لي كلمة، واش ما في قلبك رحمة؟ يا اللي جرتي بالحكمة وحكمة في وسط القلب سند نار ضرامي، بردي الصوت الحامي بالوصال والمصال اللي شفتك ديك العدبية الناس ما من جدك طال سقامي أمولاتي متى نشوف قدك يتمايسك على منو الياس والريحة نتعلم، الشعر الغصيق مظلم كغراب عليه مرصام، والضياع يلوح من الجبين نور سامي بيه كايزول غتامي، والحواج بنونين معرقين والشفار بغير مدام نايمة من جدك طال سقامي مولاتي عينيك جوج كيسان من عتيق المدام، من ضاق منهم شي صبحاين العطر في الخد الناعم، ورضع كريت تحت صوارهم فحناسن المعطسطير طار بيه منامي بين الورود مسامي، والسنان حسن من حب الغمام، والجيد غزال خشى من الرمام من جفاك طال سقامي مولاتي وانا بخيل جيدك جودي لي بالمرام، رود الرضا يفوح عليا بنسيم وقت نرى وجهك الوسيم، فاطمة قبلي عبد خديم قالت الريم قبلتك طول الحياة غلامي، لا تظن تبقى ضامي وحق نهديك حتى نهديك يوس في حضرتك شفي حرقة الضمار من جفاك طال سقامي يا مولاتي خدي نفرشو الشوق لدوك القدام ونقول لك يا فاطمة اصطمي يا اللي داويتي اسمي امري بالعز احمي ولا تحشمي نشوفك يا الباهية قدامي الرقيب بصرو عامي.
Okay, give that is called, if I understand correctly, the puhur. Does anybody know what the puhur is? No? You know? No. Nobody knows. Okay. That's great. You know. No, you know. Okay. It's a cleansing ritual, I think, to get this evil spirits out, something like that. And I don't want to say too much about it because I have no idea. Just give an applause. Yes, thank you. So we're going to the first performance, which is from Sadiqa and Kahal. Sadiqa is will take you on a journey to the sex work they do in Marrakesh. And they do that on the other side of Jama Lafana, where the documentary makers don't even dare to come. Well, then you know what kind of place that is. And Sadiqa will take you to an eye-opening adventure. And also, which is very important to say, I don't want to ruin too much about the performance actually, because she will tell you herself. But which is also very interesting to say is that at the end of this evening or afternoon, they're going to perform a rap song. So it's very, they're very versatile, let's say, in their performances. Also, I wanted to ask you a little bit, like, who am I sitting across from? Who identifies here as queer? Okay, that's great. Can somebody tell me, because I'm just trying to, like, you know, have a cozy conversation also. Does somebody want to share something about what queer means to them? No. No. You know, we are also taught in like schools and things that we are not like, when I say something, it's like, you know, like, so I just want to say that even if you don't say any fucking thing to the microphone and I just put the microphone here and you don't say anything, it's also fine. So in that sense, does anybody want to say something? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I come to you. Okay, now everybody's like, yeah, I also want to say something. There's no wrong here. There's no wrong. That's inherently queer. Like fucking wrong, it doesn't exist. Everybody's like great as they are born, right? What's your name?
My name is Danke. And oh, you have a question.
Well, what does queer mean to you? You identify as queer. What does it mean to you?
So I'm bisexual, which to me means that I am attracted to basically anyone, like not anyone who like identifies within the binary, but yeah, really anyone. And yeah, it's great. It brings a lot of opportunities. That a lot of people don't also identify like that, right? You can just have sex with anybody, basically. It's great. Yeah. Yeah, like I see people walking down the street, and I'm like, oh my god, they're so sexy. And I'm like, oh my god, they're very sexy too, yeah. And then like on the gender spectrum, I think that might be kind of nice to tell you guys that. So I have a 4.5-year-old nephew, and he was asking me like a year ago, like, hey, you have short hair, but you know, are you a girl or like what's going on here? And I was like, well, some days I feel more like a boy, and some days I feel more like a girl. And then like last week he asked me, yeah, so since I'm now a big boy, like you can play with us, but only on the days that you feel like a boy. Like, so I think I know what you're feeling like today, so you can play with us. And I was so amazed that he remembered that I said that, yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much, Femke, for that story. That's great. That's great. That's clear from childhood. Ooh, my sunglasses. Okay. Sadiqa, are you ready, honey?
You have 1 minute.
Okay, well, I will keep it short. I have long stories. Yeah, I see myself straight. I'm a big shopper at this moment, so I'm very successful here. Thank you for that. Yeah, queer. I see them as human beings. Yeah, that's it. You know?
They're also human beings. Yeah.
They're human beings. They're not,
Great, thank you. Okay, I want you to give it up for Sadiqa and Kahal, please. Yes, again, applause.
Bitch, are you getting wet? Well, this is only the beginning. Most Europeans think that the assigned male sex workers, Louab al of Marrakesh, work in Jamefna Square. Well, this is what they hear in BBC documentaries and the stories from their white gay friends. But Jamefna is only for the tired ass hoes. Jamefna girl is for warming up. Chat, see who are the new bitches in town, and get the latest gossip. Jamefna is for the white pedophiles, the stinky, white, old gays who wants to live their Arab man fantasy for 20 euros and then next morning whine all about how slutty and dirty and stupid and hypocrite and thieves and liars and whatever the Moroccans are. Luckily tonight, I am not taking you to Jamefna. No. This is not where I roll. My ass is way too expensive for the white dudes. Tonight, I'm taking you to a secret place. On the other side of Jamefna. On the sexy side. On our own territory. And now, you are very welcome to join. Heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe. It's on the sidewalks of Jerba where I learned to walk in heels. Get the posture right, strike the pose, and work. With my heels in my big purse, I only practiced in my sneakers. Imagining myself wearing those sexy triple high heels and slaying the runway. Heel to toe, heel to toe. Tonight my shift starts at 10 and I need to work my ass off because my rent is still to be paid. And tonight is not going to be an easy night. 2 weeks ago, Malubia was found with her client dead at a tourist's apartment. Apparently, they had too much to sniff. And now the target group of the police is us. So I need to be very careful in choosing when to show my talent and when to man up. We all have to cope, right? That's why I let my beard grow. Some clients don't like it, but they're not going to bail me out of jail when I get arrested. I mean, sniffing and tourists, I just don't understand these bitches. I mean, just smoke some Moroccan hash, bitch. It will not kill you. Heel to toe, heel to toe. Oh, I see a nice car coming. Slow it down. Stop it for Janila. I hate that bitch. I swear to God, she does some sort of black magic working with her or whatever she's doing. She's doing like some Buddha shit or whatever. But the success that this bitch has is unbelievable. I mean, I have bigger ass than her. Bright side, less competition for the next 2 hours. Heel to toe, heel to... Clients are also scared. I totally understand. But we need money, and we need it now. Manning up. Some raras are coming. Raras are the gangsters, and they are so fucking hot. There are usually no threats. They just want some ass, some free ass. And I'm not in a charity mood tonight. They are slowing down. I need to keep looking at their eyes because they're just like dogs. They can smell fear. They walked past me. One slapped my ass, but I did not turn around. They usually leave me alone because they know they can always get some good shit from me. And they also know that I'm not to fuck with. Time for a break. I need to roll my joint and rest my ass. What the fuck? It's already midnight and I still didn't have any clients tonight. Well, this is the boring part. They don't usually show this part in the movies. This is the part when Alubia is smoking her cigarette, worried about the outcome of the night. But holding on. Perseverant, patient, anxious. Just smoking cigarettes. Heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe. Ooh, this car looks fancy. Fuck, not slowing down. Oh. Fuck, I know him. He's a dirty pig and fucks like a donkey. Please don't stop, please don't stop. Fuck, he stopped. Well, I am desperate. And no clients tonight, so let the seduction game begin. I look into his eyes. He seems horny as hell. Middle age, brown eyes, dark hair. For a while, we communicate with eyes. I show him my sweet walk. Pose. Seductive. Then I walk away. Heel to toe, heel to toe. He is slowly following me with his car. He is my dog now. And he is following the smell of my tasty, open, horny ass. Let him follow. This pussy worth it. I'm a prostitute, but I do my job with passion. The silence in his car is a killer, and the sex energy is overwhelming. I look in his pants and I see drops of pre-cum. He's getting wet. I'm getting wet too. Proud of my sexiness. Too proud to even look directly in his eyes. By the side of my eyes, making him craving for more. Slowly biting my lip. He has now a stupid smile on his face. Ugh. I want to jump and ride his cock right now in this car. But I gotta stay in character. We are home.
لا تلاغي لا نقلي المدس الدنيا ربك تموتي مدس الدنيا ربك تموتي لا تلاغي لا نقلي المدس الدنيا ربك تموتي Esto se lenta si la derhanan terku kusas la derhanan terku kusas atle ghidana nufi السكريا قلت موتي السكريا قلت موتي Validi sentar sisa suwenuli dan waqditas suwenuli dan waqditas atli ghidana nufi bis dunya tudamuti bis dunya tudamuti. Go sleepwalking, don't keep me apart. I'm through sleepwalking, got me in my heart. Got me tempted another, into hona idai badas, into hona idai badas. Adli ghidana nufi bis dunya tudamuti bis dunya tudamuti. No more sleepwalking, been asleep too long. No more sleepwalking, keep me with you, God. It's alright, it's alright, alright now. It's alright, it's alright.
Next client, please.
Oh my God, that was so hot. Give it up again, please. Okay, we're going on to where are we?
Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're after this. After these two performances, there's going to be one more performance. There's going to be a break, and after that, we're going to have a little talk with the people. Not a little talk, a big talk. Well, 20 minutes. So if you have any questions about the performance or Sadiqa, her experience as a sex worker, you can ask them after the break. Now we're going to a very special performance with a different character. It is a little bit more intense. It is also a little bit more dark. And the one performing is Badi, and as an artist, I really respect her very much. When I saw this performance for the first time, I was extremely overwhelmed. And it really brings you to their experience. And there are not a lot of artists who can express their experience like you can really feel it, that it comes inside, right? So this is really what Mala did to me. So please give it up for her. Honey, you ready? Yes? Okay, please give it up for her. She asked me to put on the light. Wait a second. Give it up for Mala Badi, please. Thank you.
Can we please stand up for Mala and give them a really warm applause for what they gave us? Thank you. Thank you. We have a break now. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Mala! Yes! Give it to her! Woo! Give it up for Mala, please! 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 Woo! Thank you. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Beautiful. It's not beautiful. It's horrible. Thank you. We have a break for 10 minutes, and then we have a panel discussion. Okay, hello, everyone. So the people that want to join the conversation, can you sit a little bit closer? That would be great. Like the people sitting on the table. Like a little bit. Like you can also sit on the chair behind the thing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Great. Ja. Mag ik ook bij? Okay. Mala and Sadiqa. Did I say Sadiqa or Sadiqa? Sadiqa. Sadiqa and Mala. First of all, I really want to share a personal experience. I was very impressed by your performances. Thank you so much for giving that to us. So we're going to have a panel discussions of about 20 minutes, and if there's anybody who has a question or has a comment, please raise your hand in the conversation so we can keep it interactive. Is there anybody already that has a comment or a question? Yeah, well, it's not that... Yeah, so? I think that's a little bit better, right? I think this is fine. That good? Okay. Well, this is a little bit heavy, right? Ja, dat is een beetje heftig, toch? Of niet? Ja, een beetje, like, please. Okay. Okay, so then I'll start with the first question. I think everybody's dying to know, Can you tell us a little bit about the performances that you just did and how did they came about? Where did it develop? Sadiqa, I'm starting with you because you started. So please elaborate us a little bit.
First, I want to thank everyone who took time to come see our performances. It means a lot. I want to thank you all for your energy. It was really good energy. I could feel every single one of you present with their mind and soul, which gave me also energy to do my performance. 2 weeks ago, I had an accident and I had 2 broken elbows. So I was really like thinking that I couldn't do this performance. But even this morning, I had a little pain. But with your presence, you really gave me so much energy to be able to do the dance perfectly and everything. So I want to thank you for that. So yeah, thank you so much for this. About my performance, I did this performance only once before, and it was at Fight Club. It's a six festival, was it? Can you call it? Yeah, yeah. It was only for it's also non-mixed festival, only for queer people, and I did the performance there. So I was thinking while writing the performance, because I'm a storyteller and I also do rap. And I was thinking, how can I actually take the people to go inside my life from a different perspective? Because I was all the times looking at documentaries or like hearing people's experiences or like the stories they have in mind. And I'm like, no, it's not like that. No, it's not what you see. There is something else so much beautiful, more beautiful. And I was like, okay, I'm going to share this beautiful thing with people through my story. And this is how the performance was brought, and I'm so touched all the time when people are like telling me, yeah, we really were there. I never had any idea that it's like this. I never really thought, I've been to Marrakesh and this, but I didn't see this. But yeah, there is more than what we see actually. And it's also triggering them to think outside of what we see and outside of that the media delivers to us, that there is so much beyond, so much life beyond, that we really don't see unless we hear from the people their story and they're part of the story. So this is how I think of the performance, and this is how I deliver my performance all the time.
You say Wi-Fi. Anyway, so I'm very happy to see your performance, Sadiqa, because I used to be a sex worker in Casablanca. It's kind of like cool. But like when you go into your performance, I was imagining myself on Marrakesh. I did some work there, though.
You went through it.
Of course.
Audition.
Yes, it was like for as a poor young queer, working class poor queers. It was our imagination to walk to Marrakesh and walk there.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. We had an undesirable competition coming from Casablanca all the way to
it's not
Marrakesh.
about competition.
To take our clients.
Yes, I was homeless at the moment. I went to Marrakesh, I was thinking I can be rich. But I was doing the same work and the cars are stopped, you know? You're gonna stop someone and then he will miss you, someone gonna put you on the outside exam. It was like the garden like full of queers on the night. So because I'm going into memory, I'm just like feeling. And it was actually it's like there is no more reality on sex workers' lives in Marrakesh just to walk on this fucking big streets when there is white rich people come. Most of them, you know, I'm not going to repeat, but like also in Casablanca when I was walking, sometimes we walk all the night, girl, and there is no car stop. Sometimes we are just going to the center to say our friends, and then the cars 1, 2, 3. Exactly, it's like the same. It's like actually, what was great is after the car picture, Like for me, as super poor, my father have no car. We even have like kids bicycle. It's not even something like my mother. She loves to walk a lot, so we don't take taxis because also it's like Spain. Yeah, it's expensive for my mother to take all my sisters and my brother. We are seven, and we are all holding my mother to Laba going to yeah. Anyway, so I'm very proud of you, baby. Yes. About my performance, um, it just comes from the pain, and comes from to feel connection with my parents, my grandparents, my people, Moroccans. And they know that Moroccans, they are very cute people and very kind people, everything. Also back here. And it's for me, it was kind of looking for pre-colonization. How was it in Morocco? Um, I am giving lots of my energy to Morocco liberation. So, and I like history. So it's on the process of educating myself about my people that my parents doesn't tell me because of colonization. The school doesn't tell me because of colonization. The books, and even on this point, especially about sex work and gender diversity, my parents, they were not give everything. They know everything, but they doesn't tolerate. So when I was 26, 27, or let's say 18, and we heard about big colonization, and it was possible teaching myself about colonization because I am trying to liberate my body and to liberate myself. It cannot just come from God, because the last prophet he died, what? Okay, our prophet. Yeah, it's like the prophet Muhammad he died like 7th century or 6th century. Yeah. So I will finish now. So it's about get hurted, get feel pain of seeing the reality because colonization is not just bring the French army, cute army boys there. They create the fucking like on Algeria, like example, after 3 months of the colonization and 19th siècle, the first thing they do is to build sex workers. We call them in Morocco bordel. I think also in French. The ball. But it was specific bordel only for Muslim women. And if you had sex, if you did sex work with someone Muslim, you're gonna get taken out and go to this bordel to give the pleasure to the white man. So for me, it was just traumatized. I was super traumatized. I cried for 1 year. I was looking, and I just bring short things, little bit things, because the war was more hurt than to just sit like this, right? The colonial sex work was hurt than what we just said. I am just want to transfer my struggle to people that themselves they go to educate themselves. And now better about colonization. Colonization is not the army, the American army, you walk, no, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not this. It's more. It's the effect of colonization on our bodies, our spirits, our feelings. And we as queers, we also in Morocco in the beginning, we wasn't taking the Western queerness as something, let's say LGBT, the LGBT issues in Europe, it was not affect us because we were on the community. And then the European ideas come to our minds and then they start to define like blah, 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 blah. But like, it's just sharing the pain of my grandmother that maybe she was one of these people that, and yeah. Talk about my performance in like years, but because this I don't my performance and you see it, it's enough.
Performance is about, so that's great. Does anybody have a question about one of their performances? Yes, please.
First of all, thank you so much. I think on behalf of all of us, you really transport us there. So thank you, truly. And then secondly, I wanted to ask, as queer individuals, where is the border of when you begin performing and when you stop performing?
Where do you begin? Where's the border between beginning performing and stopping performance? So what is the relation to your life also, I guess, right? Performance and life. To what extent is performance life?
Actually, I was on the borders before being expressed. I was living in Morocco, and we cannot go out because Morocco is not that. It's a beautiful country. It's everything glass. But because of the international laws, the borders, it was also exist. We cannot cross the borders. I will explain. I will talk as I understand your question.
No. It's about where does the life stop and the performance end? So what is the life and the artwork? Yeah, the artwork, and now the performance. So when I come here, you shit! So I was like, so I saw you, right? And I was really touched, and I think a lot of us were. And then I was like, are you okay? So you were like doing the performance, but after that, you're quite okay. So you seem like a different person, and I know that as well because I do like this, blah blah blah, and then after I'm like, in front of the television. So where does the performance? What is the performance, and what is your life?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my life is actually linked to these traumas. My life, and actually I was answering the question, explain 5 colonial time. So I understand everything. Thank you, Aynouk, for your efforts. So I understand you, and this is my answer. The borders, it's not just land borders. It's also crossing our bodies and close our bodies. Like when you talk about borders, we talk about post-colonization. So we talk about nations, we talk about lands, etc. So since I was preparing for this performance, of course. But I mean, before the performance, it's my everyday life struggling to deal with the traumas I had in my childhood, and also the colonial trauma, which exists always on Morocco. My father, he told me a lot of colonial stories, not colonial stories, but stories about colonization. So for me, it's kind of real to be face to face with my traumas, to face to understand my roots, to face to by Morocco. These people, they was growing from the traumas. And I am just expressing dealing with traumas and also to make other people know what's the traumas we go into as Moroccans. When I was 6 years old, my grandmother, she was talking to me about colonization. I had never thought this. When I was so young, I was thinking that the white man is the beautiful man. He's the white girls, of course. And this is my process to walk all these ideas I had in my mind that colonialism is beautiful, because colonialism was not beautiful. It's more weird than my performance. So we are safe, we're gonna go now, we're out behind everything. But on my brain, it's going these traumas. And for me, when I'm performing, it's just good moments for me to be with myself, to talk to myself, to think with myself. It was not very easy. It was my pain speaking, and my struggle speaking, and my understanding to history speaking. And I'm very sad about everything happened. Because of this, we want to continue the struggle because we want to be happy, right?
I want to answer.
Okay. Can you repeat the question?
I think I will answer her question. And, I think why I couldn't understand your question is because I really don't have a border as an artist. I really don't have a border as an artist. I am doing art to get away from borders. Like borders are what really try to like all my life. Like I identify as non-binary person. I don't want to be like a man. I don't want to be a woman. I don't want these borders. I don't want also through my art to live in borders. To be like, yeah, now I'm gonna put a happy face. I'm gonna do like Rihanna and just go there and say, yeah, and then I go back to my fucking life. No, I bring you my life. I bring my story. So the notion of borders, I don't even know it because I destroyed it a long time ago with my art. So this is why it took me time to understand the question. But it's a really, really good question because I just really don't have borders. So the way I was with you in the performance is the way that Mala, my mother, knows me, the way that my friend Haik knows me, the way that people that get in touch with me in my life knows me. So I didn't really bring anything extra to cross another border and then be like, now I'm performing and then go back to my border. So yeah, that's the thing. And for the question, how did colonialism affect the notion of queer? That's a very, very deep question. That's a very deep question. I will tell you a little bit story. I think I'm going to keep it short. Growing up, I never had the idea that I can be Moroccan and can be queer. For me, I cannot be Moroccan and be queer. It's impossible combination. I cannot be Muslim and be queer because this is what I've been seen, this is what I've been told, this is outside of Islam. And not only by Europeans, also by our shuyukh, like the people of religion. And all of what we see, like, no, this is a Western thing, this is not a thing for me, like, okay, if you want to live this, also they say it, if you want to live this, you should go outside and go to Europe to live this with European. So for me, that was the thing that this cannot be two things together. So it took me really long time also to just meet with queer people through sex work, also meeting with queer people, and we were also thinking about this history that colonialism erased, and which is how actually there were queer people also in my culture. That's just something we don't hear about because it was erased by a lot of things, among them colonialism. So for me to make this connection, because I was always a picture, I also hear it from other people, I will live my life once I go out of Morocco and then I can live my queerness. And if you think about queerness in itself, it's actually something that is inside my culture, who was there inside my culture. Like we hear about Lila of Binawa, and for Lila of Binawa, we have parts where people who are identifying as non-binary, also as trans, they get dressed the way they want and they dance with other people, and that was it's part of the Lila. So this is not something new. This is not something that if an assigned male puts on women's clothes, it's something that is European. No, this is something that existed. Gnawa, the Lilas of Gnawa is something that existed a long time ago. So you can't convince me of these things, but these things are not told. And they're erased through a lot of things, among them colonialism. So to destruct these things and for the people, because I think every single one of us have one goal in their life, it's to be the truest, highest version of yourself. And for me to be the truest, highest version of myself, I need to understand myself. And my part is part of myself. And my part was kind of among the things that didn't give me a clear path was that because of colonialism, so the destruction of these things will allow me to go back to myself, to see my origin, and then finally live my truest, highest version of myself. So I think this is...
Okay, next question. Oh yeah. This is also about you, Sadiqa.
No,
but you want to answer about the...
Of course. Like, my queerness is charged with my sex part.
How?
How? Because it's the beautiful Morocco girl.
Yes. I think you
I cannot separate my queerness and my sex part because when I was too young girl, I walk on the street and all these men, they are just want to get me and then walking. Like you did in the performance, they was 14 years old. Of course, I'm not going to give him my ass for free, girl, right? I'm sucking for free or sucking for free. Um, I think, I don't know if I can share this with everybody, but like most of us as working class queers, the sex work is dans le courage, encouraging us to be super queer. Of course, because like on the no, it's not to liberate because we are not yet liberated. But let me just finish what I want to say. Because I'm really speaking about like, yeah, thank you, you're right also. The point when I go the first time the street and I find all this man attention, it's of course gonna not be for free. And then to meet the queers, like let me say Zoel and Arabic and Davija. So the first time when I meet queers and then I have community, I was 14 or 15 because I was a little bit late. 40 days late, right? The mothers, because in Morocco, I think you have other mothers than me, and I have also mothers. When you go to the street, and then these mothers, they're gonna take care of you. They're gonna show you how to find partners. They're gonna show you how to protect yourself when everyone discover you are queer, how to run, how to deal with police, how to use condom, how to have some sex, which good area you can fuck in, how money you can ask for, you know, all these things. So my question is, like, let me say that my sex work, it's this my queerness aware because I am walking queer, if I can say this. Yeah, so it's like this more. It's about sex work help us to be courageous a little bit to find clients because we are poor. We need to find food.
I'm just going to answer very quick to the question. I think that's also what I try to give in my performance, because I am the guy next door in the street to protect myself. But with my client, I do wear the things I want. I do act the way I want. I deliver a show for my client. My clients is not just like go fucking go. No, it's like a relationship, getting show, getting in contact. So this thing and doing it also with time really gave me space that it was safe for me to be queer. So this is how I think sex work allowed me personally to live my queerness.
Understandable, yes. Thank you. Next question. Oh yeah. No, it's true. Well, we're in the Netherlands. Next one. Yeah, next one.
So, before I'm going to go to this, is there anybody else who wants to put a last question in or a question in?
My question is for Sadiqa. I thought your forum was pretty positive, and I think I associate sex work with a negative thing. Is it a positive thing for you?
Can you tell me what negative exactly you associate?
I'm sorry?
Can you tell me exactly what negative you associate?
Well, maybe for me it's like a last resort, not a dream job you want to have, or maybe that's very stereotyped, but it looked pretty positive to me, like you were enjoying the work. Is it like a last resort and desperation, or is it a positive thing for you?
Good question.
Positive representation of sex work is not always there.
I don't believe in positive and negative, so let's put it out there. I think if we try to destruct our minds, if we try to destruct the system, and we're like always talking, we need to destruct the system, we should not compare. Comparison is a big no. Sex work is sex work. This was my experience of sex work. Positive, maybe so positive, maybe at times it gave me joy, and at times it gave me sadness. Those are feelings that I don't necessarily associate with positive and negative. I don't know if I was portraying it as positive. I was really just portraying my life. And I did sex work. And to put you in the context why I did sex work, I was yeah, I went and I came out to my family, then I had to leave to Marrakesh, and I stayed with queer friends that live in a small queer family house. And within that, and also I have a master in chemistry, and to be able to pay my school, I did sex work for a while. Then I was a little bit old, then I was doing sex work on different ways. So maybe that was just like, that was my road for life. Because sex work taught me things about me I could have never learned any other way. And I think it's always about the road. It's always about the travel. It's never about how getting there. It's always about the travel. My travel happened to be through sex work. I don't really try to think of it positive, negative, because this really fucks up my brain. I can just be now thinking, oh, this is a positive or negative way, but this is also my way of thinking. So yeah, I think, I hope I gave you enough.
Is there another question, by the way, from the audience? Yes?
I was really surprised by the photos you did find with the French military and Moroccan women. You know, the Netherlands had an immense colony in Indonesia, where of course the colonial system had the same traits and character, but I never saw pictures of Dutch or colonial soldiers in this way. It was more covered. So it's surprising that you could find that.
Yeah. Because I'm smart.
How did you do that?
First, because I am smart, I'm intelligent, I can do everything. I can find everything. Right? It's also about you need to look more about. So when I find these pictures, I was quiet. I find it on the military archive of France. So I have to travel like to Marseille, to Paris, read lots of articles, like. But let me tell you something about colonization. When one of the comment dit the things that encourage people, it was sex. When the white man was like, I will stop here the white man because of some fragility, but let me tell something. Like when Netherlanders armies want to Indonesia, Aruba, it's not only Indonesia, Aruba, Curacao, and all the Caribbean, Suriname. Of course, they have some photographers. They were specially to make these sexual pictures. Of course, you need to look for it. Maybe because it's like my performance. It's the hidden history, right? And it was like the postcards with naked Muslim Moroccan woman on it. So when it sent it to the Netherlands, and they told them, oh, look, this Arab woman, Amazigh woman, Moroccan woman, she's naked with boobs, with blah, 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 blah. And the white men just give themselves the chance to make Muslim women naked like this. Let's not talk about trauma. But on the colonialist period, I am sure that this was like young people of 19 years old. They are leading a big race in Morocco and Indonesia. You know, they were like, comment on dit le maire, mairie. Clementa's leader, it was a young white man. And to encourage them to come there, it's of course because of sex. Because there is this woman of color that you can fuck, that you can treat inhumanly, like with, not as animals, but like objectify the woman of color to fuck her, because this politics was on Morocco, it's different if it's in Indonesia. And of course, it's different if it's in Zimbabwe, and it's different if like Portuguese colonizers or Netherlands colonizers or French colonizers. And after 3 weeks, when the French army entered to Algeria, they built the first thing they do for their army is to build like sex work, let me say the bordel for their army. And the army, after every week, they come to fuck all these Muslim women. I don't say like the Muslim women working as sex workers for free. It's kind of a sin if you fuck with Muslim men and they bring you to the European, because Europeans, of course, they are racist, and of course, they create apartheid in our countries. So the European side of Casablanca, it's had when a lot of Muslim women, Jewish women, Moroccan Jewish women, and white Europeans. So we have three types of women sex work. I don't know if I say the correct word, but there's like Muslim woman who you can fuck for free, the Jewish woman who you can also fuck for free, but if you are like having grad, if you are like a colonel, je sais pas quoi. And then there is the white woman who works there, she don't work there, she work on your palace, etc. To find these pictures or these videos, I'm not going to tell you how, but you can find it. It's about to put my people get treated bad. It's very hard to say your people get treated bad, get naked, touch their boobs like this. They just don't give them any, the crowd of white man. So I don't. I think that colonization, it was linked by violence and colonial rape. They always need to rape women because the man, he goes to fight for colonizing states, and they need to be having good life. It's seriously, the army there, they were getting good food, sex workers, not sex workers, but like people work for them sexually and other things. Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
But I am not very, I don't work at the university. I leave the university.
Oh, you experience.
But I don't talk about my experience as I just want you to go yourself and find these things. It's going to be more interesting because I'm talking with my emotions. And I think when you go and look for things, it's actually a process of the kitchen of Dutch colonization. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, bye. We're gonna go on for 5 minutes max. We're gonna go on for 5 minutes max because we're over time a little bit. Yes. So I want to go to the last question, and please, you can follow. Yes, you can follow Sadiqa and Mana because they have so much to say and so much to share. I put the Instagram and your Facebook also on the PowerPoint at the last slide. So, what does the history and current state of the queer revolution in Morocco entail? Can you share a little bit about that?
Thank you for putting this question. Because
Did you make it up?
No. No. I gave you to one of the 6 words.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, that's what you said. Well, anyway, it's a good question. Great.
Because it talks about the queer revolution in Morocco, because now there is a queer revolution in Morocco. There were a lot of flashbacks and backlashes in Morocco. So every time there was a backlash, I think the first backlash was when there was the terrorism in Philadelphia, is it? In the gay bar? Orlando, and then some queer people, in 2014, and then some people went in front of the parliament with gay flags, and this was actually like the first backlash that we got in Morocco from the government, from the people. So the more visibility you get, the more backlash you expect. So that had actually, and then there was a movement 20 February where people were starting to talk about individual rights, among them the rights for queer people. And this one, actually, there was a debate that started. But every time the debate starts, the backlash is harder. Then there was the Muslim party that took Islamists. The Islamists is different. the Islamist party that took the power in the parliament, and then it went, So, but last time there was also very big backlash. It was on social media. Everyone was in the Corona quarantine. Morocco was like total quarantine. You don't even get to go out. And there was one person that outed people and told people, go and download Grindr, and then you will look who is queer next to you. It can be your son, your father, your brother, this, that. So this is what people do. They went for hunting for queer people. So one person ended up killing themselves because they were outed, their parents and all of that. But this time, the backlash was actually very hard, but also the fight back was harder this time. There was more visibility. There was more people standing out for themselves, standing out for the queer revolution. And there was this thing that was created named Queer Revolution. We signed a petition. There were people that were voicing their voices up. There were people that were taking space, because now you don't need actually the media to come to you. You can go live on your Instagram and to give your opinion through. So all this together made this time that the queer revolution is actually more powerful than ever. And I actually will perform for you later a song that I wrote for this queer revolution. But yeah.
You wrote a rap song?
Yeah.
About the queer revolution?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll hear it?
Okay, I think Malo also wants to talk about the queer revolution.
Oh, sorry, yes.
But my
I don't know if the Corona spirit mic. Anyway, but I'm very okay. Let's talk about the queer revolution Morocco. It's the movement to start, and I'm very proud to share this moments with you, girl. So in Morocco, it was like for a moment, it was like kind of outing all gay men in Morocco. And trans gay men in Morocco, they show their pictures in social media, they took shots from Grindr to say these people, screenshots from Grindr that these people is queer. So we, as people on the exile, how to save the country, how to save these queers, it was super hard.
It was super hard.
So,
we are in the Netherlands, we are safe.
Yeah.
Brothers, sisters,
and also it was,
family, like my queer family was outed, and then you are here, so you're like in this fucking unbalanced world.
So, and the idea was there that we cannot even like have a good dinner or we can fine or something like that. So for us as queers from Morocco, live in Netherlands, live in New York, live in Paris, live in Marrakesh, Casablanca, Burkina Faso, Sadiqa, start everything. We want to change the negative feelings that the community had on the moment. Everybody outed, everybody scared, everybody sad. And we want to planning for how we can get our community out of this fucking shit. So the queer revolution in Morocco, it was like in annonce a start for revolution, for change. So it was about art. So if you are a queer and you want to share your support to everyone who gets outed, to the people who live on non-out situation, to the people who live with their families and they have to hide everything, and also to the out people to share their arts with the community. So it's not like this. And then every like hundreds of people they just share their art, like their photography, their performances, their poetry, Sadiqa, their song. And this is like just how you can be very strategic and very know what you are doing, and you can change all these fucking horrible things to something super positive. Make art for the community, help the community. Like we had worked a lot on this, like how to give the power to the community, because to get out from being afraid, it's just a revolution. It's exactly like, and you can like find all this. It's the first time I heard from 13 years old queer person, their autonomy, that they have beautiful poetry for queer revolution. Like, what's gonna happen? I'm just gonna cry, right? Or like when these old queers, they are making their pants. It's like it was very, very, very. We had a lot of work to do. We had a lot of blah blah blah, lots of meetings, everyday meetings, 3 meetings on the day, etc. But it was fine because of what? Because we don't want we don't want to change the world that we are very sad. We are gonna fight this oppression with not happiness, of course, but it's traumatized art. And the art we're gonna like. What's it saying? Okay, I didn't finish. Wait for me to finish. It was this. It was to. I know. I'm just really, really quiet. Come on. If the time is finished, it's fine, because I'm sharing something very important, like revolution worker. You don't have to be sorry. I mean, how we can feel the community on this high feeling. Like you remember on the time of the revolution worker, you wasn't sleep because we are always waiting for the creativity of the community. What the community give and don't receive. We receive the traumas, receive the violence, receive the outing, everything. How we can change this? It's about to kick out our art, to express our art. And Sadiqa, she makes one of my dreams. Like 2013, we were like young queer activists in Morocco. And one of my dreams was to wake up on the morning and hear the song about queers. And my daughter was wicked, so I'm very proud of her. Like,
You're gonna perform it. You're gonna perform it now. Thank you. Okay, last question, really fast. Yes. The influence of religion. The influence of religion on the queer revolution.
I think if we start talking about the subject, it will take us a long time. But I will just give you a short answer. This time, and I'm not exaggerating, this time, when the queer revolution, it was one of the fewest times when there was also like, it's okay to be Muslim and queer, it's okay, like it was like, okay, let's now focus on, we have one enemy, and that is the law, and that is homophobia, and that is homotransphobia. We will all focus our forces towards getting rid of this law that's humanizing us, changing the thing, and we will not be free unless we are all free. And you can be whatever you want, and you can be whatever you want. So this is actually freedom. So I think this time was really like this. Of course, you have always these little narratives about other people, like, no, you can't still, like, you can't be Muslim and be gay, you can't be this. And we all, like, but the bigger narrative was like, be whatever you want, just join your voice to my voice, let's fight this all together.
Is there a voice like this?
Yes, I can. Have you been ever in Morocco? Did you visit Morocco before? Have you ever been in Morocco? Okay. Do you speak Moroccan? Do you have any information about Moroccan history? This is what I will answer you because it's very important to know if you know Morocco or not, because you cannot just give some Orientalist comments about Morocco. You need to know Morocco better. But we don't focus religion. We don't focus on religion. We don't focus on color. We don't focus on which party you are. We don't focus if you are communist or not, you're liberal or not. On the queer revolution Morocco, we are the queers facing our reality. It's not about religion. We don't. I believe that, like, also the imam, like the guy who is like doing khutbah, etc. It was a lot of religious people, Muslim people, non-Muslim Moroccans also on this revolution. It's not about what is your color, it's not about what is your religion, it's not about if you are, because this question will come for you as an individual, it's not about how you are imagining it. Islam. Everyone have their own explication to Islam and have more than this is the own practice to Islam. So I cannot ask all the people who are part of queer revolution Morocco if you are Muslim or Christian or atheist, because the goal it was to hide, it's not to hide, but to take serious our struggle as Muslim. We are And we never heard anything about Islam or non-Islam because, yeah, religion is not as you say on the news.
That's a great quote. Religion is not as they say on the news. And a lot of things are not as they say, as they are on the news.
Exactly.
That's why we're here today. Thank you for your attention. We have a great end performance by Sadiqa. They're gonna rap about queer revolution Morocco, and then we can go outside and have put the conversation a little bit further. You can also follow Sadiqa El Kahal on Facebook or Instagram, Mala Badi or Hamza Badi on Facebook and Instagram as well, so you can ask all your questions if you want to continue the conversation. Thank you very much, and I want you to please stand up for the last performance of Sadiqa. Please, give it up. Yes, come in. And lights, Luki? Okay? Yes! There we go!
It's good. No, that's not it. Can you do the microphone like we did it on the Yes. I'll put the video, please, and this should go. Yeah, I'm gonna perform in Moroccans, but it doesn't matter what language you speak. We all have the same fight. We all want to live free. We all want to enjoy our freedom. We all want to be the best and the... Yeah, just listen. Yo. خاطر خاطر الوباء والزوامل والقشالات خاطر ترنسو الكوير واللي مرجال معيالات خاطر مش الخف خاطر مرجل خاطر لوبيا القحطة ياك خدام على الكرة ما كتساعدش العتبة لوبيا ماشي مثلي وماشي كيوت وماشي جاي لوبيا وغنبقى لوبيا وتنبح حتى العام الجاي عارفة راسي اش كنسوى وغنبقى نعطي السوا وانت ماشي شغلك فيا الحولة تحوى قالوا لي مشوها قالوا لي مسخة على الضمن انا غير لوبيا مكلخة كون غير مسحوك في المنطقة حنت هي غير غلطة وبخلوة هو الصح هو اللي في يديه السلطة بغاو يسجوني ويقمعوني خرجلوهم من الجن ضربة فيهم تيسكت لي القلب لوبيا حرة غرة حياتها مرة غتجي من التمام حيت العيب ماشي فيا ضد الحضرة ضد القهرة غادي نعلي صوتي ما نحصلح ولا نرتاح حتى يضح كل شيء 489 وجامع القوانين اللي كنشر من الحرية ديال بني آدمين قوانين الاستعمار تستعبد البشر وذبوا لحيا العبد السارود الجنة والنار حسب الكر بالفتاوى غيدوخ لي البشر فاك اللهم هذا منكر كيفاش لوبيا بحالي هي سبب هذا الدمار كيفاش هي السبب في زلزال البحار كيفاش عاش الرحمن خلق الكون يا فلان كيهتز من الانسان كيبغي انسان حيد عليا تبه بيني وبين ربي هو الخلق وكيبغيني كيف ما يكون حبي وانا نعطيك المسنون باللي رب الكون كيف ما خلق ادم وحواء خلق هذا المسمون في كل مكان كي نادي ضد الطغيان ما زال الحق يبان وكل شي يرجع مزيان حكمت علينا الوقت نعيشوا في بلاد التناقضات سيستم ذكوري ما كيامنش بالاختلافات مسؤولين على الشعب كلهم بقلوات يحملوا المشاعر والخرافات عمر الحقوق المثليه ما كتكون اولويات وز الدوله من زمان على الشعب تخلات حنا بعينيكم مجرمين وانتم كلكم قضاة والمحكمه هي الشارع والقانون راه ما كنامنش بنضال وليدات ماما بابا نضال قبيل النظام والحزب كابا وبيا كتربي كتهضر كتفكر كتعبر بكلام موزون كيعكس هذا الواقع والمر غادي ندوي ونسمع ستيلو دمع اليوم صوتي غيوصل ما غيبقاش يتقمع هضرك مخنك احسن لك بلا ما تصنف حيت الكوره ديالك فراجيل وانا مدنات بقيتي بيا مفتون ما عرفنيش اش نكون من فوق اللحيه ومن تحت ضرب عليك الطالون بديك الموازين خليتك كيف المجنون تراك راس واش عندي سبول نطفون هادشي ماشي عادي ترى القواد هادي كيفاش الوجود ديالك داير على شنو بين فاضي كوير رمز التحرير وهذا وقت التغيير خش على روبيتين تقولوا معايا كلمتين if you feel like it put your fist in the air and say for revolution so that everyone is free so that everyone is happy so that everyone is enjoying fucking life Yes, give me your energy. I want more. Yes, it will be okay. Everything will change. Yeah. Voice of the Queen is everywhere. Calling against oppression. Now we're all aware of the system's malfunction. I want to thank you all for coming here tonight to watch us. A special thanks to guys, a special thanks to Aynouk, a special thanks to Mala, to all the people who did the fucking amazing work to make this happen, to Hayek, to Messiah, to all of you to come. It will be okay, and we're all gonna live fucking amazingly. I love you all, and of course, I can never forget Ashraf. Thank you so much for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you for coming and have a good evening.